I will, because we are live, and that's why I'm going to tell about it. What is shaking, y'all? It is the Golden Mike Live, episode 72, MJW. You know why there's 72 episodes of this, baby?
You tell us.
Because you cannot cancel me. I produced this damn show.
That's right.
Be Live, you sucker MCs trying to cancel my show on the other end. I dare you to shut us off today. I dare you. The hackers who took over MJ Wilson, Wilson's website, come and hack us. We dare you. We dare you. It is the Lollapalooza of coaching today. It is the Lilith Fair of coaching today. It is. We are talking to a bona fide rock star, Megan Jo Wilson, about doing bona fide things with your rock stardom, right? Not just, more than just performing on a stage. Now, I'm a sociologist, and so the first thing I learn is you're always on a stage. So if you can own the stage in any part of your life, you're just going to own everything. So I'm so excited to have Megan Jo Wilson with us today. Megan Jo Wilson, author, inspired me to write my book, Beyond Resilient, author of Who the Fuck Am I to Be a Coach? Now, were you allowed to say Who the Fuck Am I to Be a Coach on the front of your book? Or like, did you have to put like asterisks and stuff?
You have to do asterisks. You have to do asterisks on the U. That's the cool thing to do. But you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Gotcha. But we put the asterisks in there.
Publish your book if you do that.
So who the FCK am I to be a coach? She is a coach, and she's the founder of this amazing Rockstar camp for folks that just launched. I think it's first or second launch. And so if you at all have friended her, you're seeing the result of this Rockstar camp that just came out, and folks like commanding the stage. It looks fucking wild. Are we getting videos on that soon?
Well, there is a live stream of the actual show on my Facebook business page, but yes, we had professional videographers there, and I'm just starting to get footage of really well edited together the performances, people talking about it.
Y'all gotta see these pictures. These things are out of control. After the show, what we're gonna do here in the show is we are going to talk about rock stardom and specifically for those of you folks who are entrepreneurs.
Yes.
I don't know what it would be like for me to not own my shit. I don't want to call myself a rock star. I happen to have been in a band. And I happen to be bringing that energy. Right. And I happen to bring that energy into my coaching. But there's a certain amount of authenticity, right? So for me, like when I first joined the band, like the first 2 years, we were singing covers. I was trying to act like Anthony Kiedis. I was trying to act like Red Hot Chili Peppers and Weezer. And then all of a sudden I found my voice. And when I found my voice, that's when our band started skyrocketing.
Yes, Mark.
Started to rehearse more and drink less. You know, we took our shit seriously. So before we go into Megan's piece, Megan Jo's, for those of you who have not met me, my name is Marc Cordon. I'm founder of the almost sold out Make Money Coaching program right now. We got one seat left. And more importantly, I'm a positive psychology coach now. Positive psychology just means this: fuck the empirical data and all that stuff. On a scale of 1 to 10, y'all, 10 being freaking amazing, 1 is like super shitty. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you right now? I mean, just emotion, dopamine rushes in the brain. Just how happy are you right now? Nothing major. Watch. Cold glass of water. That took me from a 7 to an 8. My throat was getting dry.
I love that.
The next question I have for you is on a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you living in your full purpose right now? So if you feel like on the inside, you're a rock star, but on the outside, you feel like a not rock star, you're not living in your full purpose. So between a 1 and a 10, how much are you living in your full purpose? That's all I do. If you're a 10 on both, you don't need a freaking positive psychology coach. Live your life. Live your life. Now, Megan Jo Wilson, I got this question for you. Everybody's watching. Everybody wants to know. Are you living life happily? And are you living your life in full purpose right now?
Well,
There's a cackle.
I'm definitely at a 10 for purpose. I can say that unequivocally and very proudly. And it's taken a long journey to get there. And I think it's one of the things that we can slip in and out of. Happiness, I feel like, is a more fleeting. In this moment, extremely happy. Despite an ear infection and like a neck ache, I have joy. Joy is my thing personally more than happiness, but like I have joy that cannot be ever taken away.
Yeah.
But sometimes I get grumpy. Like really
well, this is the thing, y'all. People oftentimes think, Meg and Joe, that like the positive psychology is 24/7 shits and giggles and Skittles raining from the sky and like Taco Tuesday every day. And the thing is that like if you the thing is that if that's how you're experiencing life on a day-to-day basis, you never feel sadness, you never get a tummy ache. Then you're one of two things. You're either dead or you're a sociopath. Because our bodies were created to feel the ups and the downs and the all-arounds of life. So for those of you watching, if you're feeling like, yo, yesterday was like, you know, I was so happy. And then like this month is just like Mercury's in retrograde. It's such a shitty month. Well, that's cool. That's part of your journey, or as Christina calls them, shittles. Candy coated bullshit. You know, she calls them shittles. Candy coated bullshit. You know, if you're eating candy coated bull crap on a regular basis, it just goes down. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know that your heart is beating just like Megan, Joe's, and mine. Because you're living your story right now. This goes into your music. This goes into your work. This goes into your full-on journey. It goes into your journey. Now, this is the last part. This is why I do what I do as a positive psychologist. If you're feeling optimistic that tomorrow, whether you're a 10 or a 0 right now, will be better than today, you're in a good place. A lot of good things happen if you feel good about tomorrow. Megan, Joe, I want to see you do this with me because we got some people watching this who have seen the show before. There's another button down there for those of you who feel optimistic. It's called the big wow face. And Megan, Joe, and I are going to show you how to make the big old wow face. Y'all, let us see a big old wow face from you. Megan, just like, screw you, Cordon. I just came on here to be 15 minutes and then go take a pee. But no, we're going on longer than this. So given all that, we got some people saying hi to you here. We got Jackie Cooper Bryant. Jackie Cooper Bryant. We got Sophie Berga giving us the thumbs up. Good to see y'all. And then, of course, we got Jorge giving like 5, 6 hearts.
All hearts.
Giving 5 or 6 hearts, Jorge doesn't give 6 hearts or 5 hearts. He usually gives 2 or 3. So I have a feeling he might be
right there. That's my man.
Jorge's my man. My man. Jorge's my man. We can fight over him the rest of the episode. But given all this stuff, we did the silly intro. Megan, Joe, I'm curious to know, what is your story?
Well, Mark, that is a big question. As you said, what I'm up to now, my life on purpose, looks like a woman who has combined 15 years of coaching, coactive coaching, with like over 20 years of experience as a singer and performer on stages of all sizes, and have put them together to create a leadership development program for women where I teach women to trust their voice, to actually love and accept their bodies as is, my sisters, as is, not when you're 10 pounds lighter, and to actually be willing to shine their brilliance in the spotlight and to succeed And I teach it by way of music, by putting them actually on stage with a live band and a spotlight and a live audience and styling from head to toe and the internal coaching work that is required for a woman to tap into the courage that is required to go on stage and sing and have a fucking blast doing it, even though you are not a professional singer. So most of the women that, in fact, all of the women that are doing this are not singers. Maybe in the shower singers. Maybe.
or the drunken karaoke bar singers.
Maybe
right?
drunken karaoke. Maybe one of my litmus tests, what I say to people is not, can you sing? Because almost every person will say, I can't sing.
Yeah.
And they all have a story of when they were taught that they couldn't sing, because we come into the world singing, right? I saw your kid singing the other day.
Yep.
He
was owning it.
Hey!
Yeah, he was owning it, dude. Yeah.
This is how we come into the world. And then we are told and taught we can't sing. And then as women, on top of that, we live in a culture that really has us shut down our opinions, our beliefs, our perspectives, our truth, our big emotions. And so the voice gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And then we find, then we're out of alignment with our purpose. Because how could I be in alignment with my purpose if I can't share it?
Right. Or when it's suppressed so much. And I'm not speaking from the standpoint of a woman, because I don't have that experience, but I have felt a suppression of my voice.
Totally.
When it's suppressed so much, you completely suppress the voice and you go into servant mode to others.
Right.
You think that that's the only way you can live your life. Then when people are gone, you have no idea of what your identity is anymore. And it's like, what was my purpose again?
That's beautifully
and
put.
Also at the same time, I don't know about anybody else, but I've had some problems when it comes to demanding that I receive from the universe, or expecting that I should receive. I'm so used to giving and not understanding the other side of the coin. Brilliant. I'm wondering this, the modality, what made you choose to go and merge sort of coaching with this stage performance? And I don't know, for those of you who are watching live or watching on the replay, you have not lived life until you've performed with a live band and you feel the bassist. It gets all freaky deaky in your stomach when you feel the bass coming through the floors.
Yeah.
What got you to combine that modality with that mindset and that perspective shift?
So I've done a lot of leadership development work. I've been coaching for 15 years. I've done a lot of training myself. I've helped other people with leadership development. And part of what I always knew that what I was doing when I was leading a band, which is co-leading, because there is no one leader. You're all leading together, which is what leadership is at its best. But fronting a band and knowing how to project confidence, knowing how to tune into what other people are needing, feeling, and knowing, is it time for me to keep going with my solo? Is it time for me to stop? You don't stop the song and say, hey guys, soloing. You have to feel it to know how to read the audience, to know how to cue with confidence. The song is ending. You can't do it kind of to know how to receive applause, like you just said. How do I receive? So I knew that all of these skills were absolutely translatable as leadership skills, but I didn't put it together until last year. It was after a big Christmas concert. I front a 21-piece big band, and we do a Christmas concert every year. Big band, talk about feeling it in your bones. You got 12 horns. Yeah. It is a vibrational thing. And after the show, as always, because this happens after every fucking show I ever do, someone comes up to me, and it's almost always a woman, who says with this longing in her eyes, Megan, if I could do that, I would die happy. I wish I could do what you do up in that spotlight. I've always wanted to be a rock star. Like, thumbs up if you've ever wanted to be a rock star. It's this thing that we just long for. So I've heard this over and over. So I said to her, it just kind of came out. I go, well, you can be. Would you pay for it? Like, because I could make that happen for you. I don't even remember who this woman was, but if you're watching, like, please come to Rockstar Camp. And to my surprise, I was kind of joking, like, haha, would you pay for it? To my surprise, she looked me in the eye and said, I would pay anything. That's how much I want it. If you could make that happen for me. And I realized what access, I have so much access to just the logistics of it, Mark. Like, I have the coaching skills. I know how to teach people to sing and perform. But actually, my secret sauce is that I know club owners. I know musicians. I know the makeup artists. I know I could put together a team, and like a top-notch team, so that my clients wouldn't have to. Because even if they want to be a rock star, the closest they could do is karaoke, maybe an open mic, which is cool, but like then you're going to be maybe with a guitar, but you're not going to go from like shower singer to full band unless you have someone who puts it together. And I brought this idea to our friend Angela, who's a business savant, if I may say, a true genius. And I said, all right, I know no one's doing this. So I know either I'm fucking crazy or this is like a brilliant idea. And she said, oh God, it's a brilliant idea. I will tell you, we got to make this happen. She's so excited about it and wants to be a part of it and is a part of it. But because she had a transformational experience herself when she stepped on stage and sang for the first time. It is transformational.
I don't know if you even remember this.
When they get off stage, they're not the same.
You're not. And I don't know if you remember this. I was in the chat when it was going, when you had the aha moment. And like, I never said anything to you. And like, you put this thing down and I was like, F to the U, to the C, to the K, to the exclamation point, get this done, because it's, I mean, I want to go in a little bit more into it, but when I saw it, I was like, this is more than a person stepping on a stage performing in front of people. Like you said, this is transformational, because when you walk off that stage, you're not the same person as you are when you leave the stage. So you just finished your first one. What is it? What is it that's going on with that cohort who just performed?
Here's what I'm hearing. First of all, because it was a pilot, we vastly underestimated the impact that it would have. And I had very high expectations, believe me. I knew that it would be impactful, but transformation sounds very nice on paper. Transformation is rather disorienting. Who am I? I just sang on that. Like, so part of what's happening for these women is, who am I now? I am actually happy. I'm actually enjoying my day. Suddenly, the other big piece of this is prioritizing play and fun and pleasure and music, which I know you're all on board with, the power of fun. Like, it's not generally valued in our culture, but having fun and play as a top priority changes everything. So they are genuinely in the couple of weeks, they're like, I still feel happy. Things are still shifting. I feel content. I feel invincible. One woman got hired as an executive director. She's never been an exec, Another woman is moving to Spain and like her boyfriend's moving to Spain with her and she's selling her house. And she's like, I can sell my house. Of course I can sell my house. I can sing on stage. And this is a woman, I'm not joking you because she's been my client for many years, was saying, how am I going to sell my house? And she's like, I can sell my fucking house.
Yep.
I can do anything.
Well, I think just to nerd out with you for a second.
Yeah.
So just to nerd out with you for a second.
Nerd out. Do it.
So a lot of people talk about the only way that you can fucking grow in life is by going and experiencing trauma.
Right.
What you're saying is that people can actually grow by feeling joy and ecstasy.
Yeah.
Like when they're on the stage, right?
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I love is that, I mean, all you can really do is build the stage and like, build the songs and all that stuff, get the band, but really get them ready for that transformational moment. Then it's up to them to perform the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And then once they know that they can perform the shit out of it, then the race is on. Because you just had a moment in your life where you proved all of your gremlins wrong through joy. Yeah. Now to stay in that moment, you have to make decisions. You have to continue to make decisions, or you have to decide to go back to your life pre-rock stardom. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. And now you have evidence. Very strong evidence.
Exactly.
Very strong evidence. Like I can send you the video that you did this thing. So many of them who continue to work with me no longer have the excuse of, I don't have what it takes. I don't have the courage. I'm like, yes, you do. Sure. Yes, you do. And the other piece of this that's so, one of the biggest things I got out of it was the power of community and support and sisterhood. Mm-hmm. So for this particular camp, it's for women identifying humans only. However, I have a long list of men, and I hope you're on the list, who want to do a men's only camp.
Yes, you mofo. Yes, you suck at MC.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna be waiting for a long time for you to make that announcement.
No, it's looking like next summer. It's looking like next summer for men only, because
I got some time to warm up the pipes.
It's time to warm up the pipes because men are struggling with the same issues in our patriarchal culture. It is not good for men either. So men shut down their voices. Men don't know how to brag. Men don't know how to ask for help. Men don't have a tribe of other men that they can lean into when they're going through a hard time. And they're isolated because they feel like they're supposed to be strong and invincible and just like tough. Yeah. Men sometimes don't know how to exude confidence in their life and their business and their relationships.
Absolutely. And I'm throwing this, I'm just throwing a third piece in there. But
throw it.
As a cisgendered identified male, like I carry a lot of privilege, but also at the same time, the first thing that I've always looked at is the fact that I'm like, oh man, I'm not white.
Right.
That's always been in the back of my mind. And even when I performed, it was still something that I was like, I should be quiet. I should be quiet. Does that make sense?
And so, like, I'm not a person of color, but it appears that the ways that people of color get shut down and excluded and marginalized and ignored and required to acclimate and live up to the white standard. It's like, so, there's so many layers of this for all of us.
So we got a three-shot. We got a three-shot here from Michelle Gomez. You guys are the best. Own your brilliance. Own yours. Michelle, you are owning yours. Congratulations, Michelle. Loves that. Prove all your gremlins wrong through joy. Fuck to the yes. You don't have to do it through trauma. And she's loving what you're throwing down right now. Amazing. Amazing. Thanks for joining us, Michelle. Now, Megan Jo, I want to ask you this.
Yeah, my love.
Have you always, my love, been walking through life with this? I mean, your presence is palpable. Your presence is palpable. You carry yourself like a rock star. Has that always been something for you, or did you have to go through your transformation or multiple transformations to get to this point?
Thanks for the sweet acknowledgement. Thanks for the acknowledgement, for real. No, I haven't always. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Actually, the true answer to that. My experience, my internal experience, which is not always how other people see us, right? So probably other people would say, "Yeah, Meg, you've always been confident. You've always been willing to go try stuff." I think that's probably a part of my personality, but the internal experience, as you know, is the human experience. So I have days, moments, eras, months where I really struggle with my own gremlins, of course.
Really?
I happen to embrace them. I love my shadow side. I think it's a beautiful, it's like it's horrible, but it's a part of being human.
Yeah.
But I have so many tools now. I have so many tools. And this is one of the things that I teach my rock stars, and many of them don't have it, is that community and the sisterhood piece. And I think it's probably true for men too. So I know for sure that when women are suffering, we isolate. Generally, when we're suffering, we isolate. We think that it's wrong. We feel embarrassed and ashamed. And so we either isolate, and then when we have to go to work and show up, which we do, we're like, I'm good. Everything's fine. I'm not angry. And we put on this fake smile, and then we don't know what to do. We don't know what to do with our anger. We are angry, like sad. We have so much to be angry and sad at, all of us, but we don't know what to do with it. So in this camp, like you're starting to hear now, right? The show is just an excuse to talk about all these other things. Like, how do I express my emotion on stage? How do I express my emotion off stage in a way that's not damaging to other people? And one way to do it is in a sisterhood, in a safe container, where I can reach out, and I have my sisters, where I can reach out and say, I'm feeling low. I am in a slump. I am depressed. I am so pissed off. And then I teach them some specific ways of releasing emotion, taking out this emotional garbage, so that you can return to your radiant self and get the life that you deserve. Instead of complaining all day, which is another way that women relate to each other, and men, through complaint, but women especially. Complaint. You had a hard day? Oh, my day was hard. Girl, my day was hard. How was yours hard? Oh, I feel so fat. How fat do you feel? I feel so. Oh, your husband did what? Oh, mine did. Like, we are better than this, ladies. We are better.
And I think that's what's tough, is because when you look at the general malaise, the general status quo, it is the norm to speak like that.
It's the norm.
We turn on television shows right now. That's been the norm for 20, 30 years. That's been what has been ingrained. We turn on the news. The norm is for us to be angry and stay angry. What goes against this? You know what I mean? To me, the new revolution, this is just me using an I, the new revolution is fucking that low-level energy, turning it into creative energy.
Yeah.
And also at the same time, finding a group of like-minded people so you don't feel like you're going fucking nuts.
Preach.
Right? Preach. Amen. Right? But that's just me using an I statement. And that's why I'm so excited to have, you here today to talk about that. What got you into coaching as well? Because a lot of people don't grow up wanting to be coaches.
I know. I sure didn't. I didn't even know what it was when I went to my first class. I was like, my background was in farming and cooking and music. So I would work as a farmhand in the summer. In the winter, I would cook. And year round, I'd play music for, in a bunch of different bands. I live in Maine, so we have like a really awesome music community in Portland. So I would play music 4 or 5 nights a week in different projects, make some grocery money. But I tried some corporate jobs, which I actually liked parts of it. I think corporate America can be really powerful and really beautiful. but then it got really toxic and horrible. So my brother got into coaching. He went to a school called CTI.
Yep.
And he basically, he's just one of my closest people, and said, you've been doing this your whole life. This is who you are. This is what you do. You might as well make a living doing it. Here's a gift certificate. Go try the first place. I think you're going to love it. So I showed up. I was very I was like studying a lot of martial arts at the time. So I was very like defensive. I was in the corner like, who are these people? And by the, it was a lot of mostly middle-aged white women. And by the end, and still is, by the end of the training, we did like a closing circle. And I just had this very powerful, like, to me, it was a spiritual experience. It was a visceral, I started shaking. I could feel energy pulsing through my body. I was crying, but not like the sobbing kind, just like, what's happening to me? And all I could say is, this is very important work. Those were my closing words. Everyone else was doing like speeches. I said, this is very important. It's very important. And 15 years later, I work at that organization now. I'm a faculty member at CTI. I teach the model. And I'm sure you agree with me that this is what could be more important than understanding the way you see the world and having the ability to change your perspective and your mindset and your results and like build a life that's meaningful and purposeful and abundant. Like, what could be more important than that?
I can't think of anything.
Nothing. To be able to listen to another person, to be curious about someone else who's different than you, who disagrees with you. This is the most important work, I think, on the planet, which is why you and I both are so committed to teaching coaches how to make money. Because if you can't make money, you can't run a business, and then you can't spread your healing light.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. So I want to ask you about this, because we do go through ups and downs, even after the concert, even after those transformative concerts, even after the energy goes through us. What is your thoughts on keeping the faith?
Well, that's a great question. So I am a person of deep faith in God, is the word I use. Meaning, I truly believe that everything that's happening to me is for my greater good. So I don't know exactly what you mean by that, but that is my basic stance.
I think maybe to clarify, sort of, how do we develop a mindset and expectation of faith in which fear cannot thrive?
Oh my God, that's so good. I'm going to meditate on that for about a month, but here's my short answer. For me, faith is that all things that are happening to me are for my good. So what could I possibly be afraid of? If, like, my business fails, which it has, I've had so many failed ideas. And if you listen to anyone who's successful, you will notice a pattern. They have all failed. Publicly and repeatedly.
Yep.
Publicly and repeatedly. Financially, in relationships. So, but if I'm like right now, it's been a kind of a tough month for me. Like I'm not like at my goals. I'm halfway through. I'm not quite at my goals. But basically I'm like, okay, if things don't work out, I guess that's what's supposed to happen, and it's meant to teach me something, and then I'll learn from that and keep going.
How did you feel about the question that I just asked you about faith? It sounds like you're like, damn, that was a good question.
I love it. When I do like webinars or anything, like the first thing I say, I didn't say it here, I usually do, is like, I'm going to talk about God and I'm going to swear a lot. Just so you know. Like, I love God and I love saying fuck. So like, and if you get, like, we'll get there probably. But No,
Well, I just wanted to throw it out there about the keeping the. I wanted to throw it out there with the keeping the faith piece. The only reason I asked that is because you asked me to ask it in the show notes, dude.
I'm like, what a powerful question that I came up with.
You're like, man, what a great question. And I'm like, she asked me to ask that question.
I'm such a genius.
You don't even you've forgotten your own brilliance.
Oh, totally. That's a good question, though.
Well, I wanted to throw this out there. I know you have a client coming up. When is the next? Well, number one, she does say fuck a lot in her book, and thank you for giving us a free copy of your book. Who the fuck am I to be a coach?
You're so welcome.
When I went and wrote my book, they edited out every S word, shit word, crap. And so I was like, I'm screwed. They're not going to do it MJ Wilson style.
No.
So like, you're definitely a pioneer and you stayed there unapologetically. So you can get a copy of that book right now. And thank you guys, or thank you, Meg and Joe for putting it out there. When is the next Rockstar camp coming up?
Well, first I'll say this because I have another book coming out, which is of course called Who the Fuck Am I to Be a Rockstar? Because it has to be. And it's actually available for pre-order on Amazon. So if you go to Amazon and search my name, you can pre-order it. It'll be out in mid-October. And it is a business book. So Mark and I, we both teach coaches how to build businesses. And that is all of the skills that I teach about being a rock star are translatable to like leadership and running your business.
Totally.
100%. So that's exciting. So if you want to pre-order it, you can. I'd love it if you like friend me on Facebook, because I'm going to have a book launch team, and then you'll get a book and you can get prize. You know, we do prizes and virtual book signings and all this fun stuff. My Rockstar camps, I have a bunch of them scheduled, and our next concert is in October. So we are getting book launch. Yeah, it's like the same week of the show. So we get things started about a couple months ahead of the show, because we got to figure out what song you're doing. We got to figure out what you're going to wear. But more importantly, we have to start developing the community and the skills, the mental, the mindset stuff. So
can we talk for a second about what you were wearing at the fucking show last time too? You seriously, you looked like the Beatles met like Freddie Mercury met like, it was like, and then like you were a roller derby star with those like leggings. Holy crap, woman.
Thank you.
You guys gotta see this. Like,
well, it was a theme on ringleader, because I was like, I'm the ringleader of the show, right?
There you go. Yeah.
So I want to look like a ringleader. And then my friend Rachel Nachmias is our in-house stylist. So she personally styles everyone and really just goes for it. It's super fun for her, right? So thank you.
Oh,
the next
you look amazing.
You got to just up the ante every time.
Oh my God, you looked amazing.
Thank you so much. So like, if you're, I really do have a couple of spots. There aren't a lot of spots, but like I want women who are ready to be cracked open, and I want women who love to sing. That's the only requirement. You don't have to be a good singer. I promise. You can watch the show. People were moved to tears. The band was moved to tears because I set them up every step of the way so that they would succeed. And then they did this thing that they thought they could never do. And as you said, Mark, earlier, like they found their voice. They found their version of Alanis's song, of Pink's song, and it was like
not karaoke anymore.
People were sobbing. So that's happening. And then I think there'll probably be another one in January. And then we've got the men's Rockstar camp coming up. So if you're a man, Mark's going to be in it.
What song are you thinking of for me?
For you.
What are you thinking about for me?
Oh my God. Such a good question.
It's the song will never end.
For some reason, Living on a Prayer just...
Oh yeah, it's on, dude. It's on. I'm gonna have the mullet ready. The mullet's coming out. If you're gonna be the ringleader, I'm gonna be that mullet Asian. I know you got a client coming up. I could talk to you for hours. Meg and Joe Wilson, you have really not only owned your shit, but you provided something that I have never seen for folks who are ready to just not settle for life anymore, not settle for what's going on. They're tired of over striving for other people's goals, and they want to just bust out. Congratulations to everybody who've been a part of the Rockstar camps now and in the future, and working with MJW. Your book still gives me goosebumps. I remember reading it about a year and a half ago. Now this is why it's called the Golden Mic, MJW. It's called the Golden Mic because right now a golden mic is coming down in front of you. That's right. You know how to take it too. It's one of those jazzy golden mics too, you know. And for 2 minutes, this golden mic is going to translate all across the world, and everybody's listening. And so you've had many golden mic moments.
No pressure.
Yeah, and so here's another one, MJW. So the world is listening, and you are live now.
I think what I want to say is like there is a change happening in our planet. There is a palpable change. We are alive at a time that is very, very critical. Very critical. There's a lot of directions that could go, and I know Mark and I are on the side of let's go for love, light, healing, expression, forgiveness, like never before. And the other thing that's happening is that feminine, not women, but the feminine is coming back into the fold of our leadership and our planet. So our masculine and feminine is starting to get back into balance, where we honor things like play, fun, connection, intimacy, emotional expression, nurturing, and joy. So it's like time to learn how to lead with the feminine for men and for women. And that's what I teach. That's what I teach in everything I do. Authentic expression of your leadership so that we can survive, hopefully, with everything that's going on out there. Those are my words.
You've done it before. Drop that golden mic like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. You know you've done it millions of times. Golden mic number 72. Megan Jo Wilson, you got to check out the book. The pre-order, the next one that's coming out. The book that's out right now is Who the Fuck Am I to Be a Coach? The next one is Who the Fuck Am I to Be a Rock Star? Rockstar.
Can I see the tagline? It's really good.
Oh, yeah.
A goddess guide to loving your thighs, raising your voice, and rocking your coaching business.
So good.
I love those thighs.
So good. And if you see the picture of Megan Jo, she definitely loves her thighs in those photos.
Listen,
you own
not
that
been
shit.
easy. And some days but this is the radical act of a woman committed to her work.
So definitely check all of those things out. Rockstar Camp comes back at you in October with a book launch. It's not going to be like that ever again. So consider the fact that there's only a couple more seats with that. If you're interested, Make Money Coaching has 1 or 2 more slots, but you can contact me through that. But let's think about this, y'all. Here's the final question that I have for you guys who are watching.
I don't know if you guys can see me still. Can you guys still see me?
Yeah, we can see you. Megan Jo. So we can still see you, Megan Jo.
You can still see me, my loves. I don't think you can.
I see you, my loves. Okay, so comment if you can see her for those of you who are watching. Now, this is the thing. If you're feeling good and you're living life to its full capacity, you're living in purpose and passion, The question that I have for the rest of you is this. What are you going to do to change history for the better? It's Marc Cordon. Megan Jo Wilson just hopped off. She just popped off, but I will see you tomorrow. Make it a good week. Make it a good 24 hours. And have a good one. Take care. Bye.